Open your grocery app and take a long, hard look at the price of protein. While you're cussing out the screen, big food executives are popping champagne in their climate-controlled offices because they have successfully brainwashed you into believing that without their supply chain, you would starve. Look at that patch of scorched dirt you call a garden, that cracked tomato stem, and that bag of premium fertilizer. That costs more than a T-bone steak. You really think that is just because you don't have a green thumb? Don't be naive. It is a calculated psychological operation. The entire system is burning through soil, water, and your bank account just to produce a few scraps, all while arrogantly calling it modern agriculture. When shelves go bare and costs double, you blame yourself. The truth is a lot uglier. We've been trained to depend on a ball and chain that is guaranteed to snap when things get shaky. The thing that actually keeps those CEOs up at night is a monster smaller than a pinhead. It is sitting right now in a roadside ditch. But gram for gram, its protein content leaves soybeans in the dust. This isn't some Franken food out of a sci-fi lab. No, this is Mother Nature's illegal weapon. It doesn't need land. It doesn't need seeds. And it definitely doesn't need your high-maintenance babysitting. Doesn't that contrast make your skin crawl? While American families are told to suck it up and accept shrinking portions and skyrocketing bills as the new normal, NASA has been testing this supercell for deep space travel. Why? Because it packs all 9 essential amino acids and even provides active B12, something virtually non-existent in the plant world. This isn't just a chat about plants. This is a full-blown underground war for sovereignty. Why haven't you seen this in the supermarket? Because it doesn't fit the capitalist agenda. You can't patent it. You don't need a $200,000 harvester. And it doesn't need a cold chain fleet. It grows too fast, too cheap, and too freely. In the logic of an industrial empire, any abundance that can't be taxed or monopolized is a weed that must be exterminated. Its name is duckweed. You probably know it as pond scum. That name alone is a masterclass in toxic PR. It teaches you to see the filth, so you will ignore the power. They point at your dying garden and tell you that you're just bad at it. Then, bait you into buying another bag of soil and another bottle of chemicals. It is a Ponzi scheme, hiding in plain sight. Chemical fertilizer doesn't build soil. It puts it on an IV drip, paralyzing the biological system underneath. So you have to come crawling back every year for another fix. Then come the herbicides, a $40 billion convenience trap. One quick spray, and the problem disappears. Right? Wrong. You just murdered the very plants that were shielding your microbes from the sun, mining minerals, and fixing nitrogen. You're left with a patch of dirt baked into a literal red brick. Even the lingo is rigged. Sterile mix, weed-free, complete nutrition. It sounds scientific, but it is actually incarceration. So, when your neighbor laughs at the green slime in your water tank, you need to realize that is an implanted reflex. We've been conditioned to reject anything that can't be bagged, branded, and sold back to us for a profit. We've been brainwashed to see abundance as a nuisance and self-renewal as a threat. This scum is actually a biohacking engine, 10,000 times more advanced than a modern farm. Under that thin green skin, it is stripping nitrogen and phosphorus straight out of wastewater, instantly flipping pollution into perfect protein. This is the source code they hid from you. Nature doesn't have a word for waste. While the industrial machine is throwing billions at clunky hardware, duckweed is running a silent revolution in a forgotten pond. It breaks every rule: no tilling, no irrigation. Once you see through the fog, the whole scam wobbles. We were told food only comes from straight rows on a monopoly farm. But this plant is cleaning your water while silently doubling itself in your backyard. It is trashed so aggressively because it bypasses every single toll booth. You can't buy its seeds, and you can't pay a subscription fee for it. This own it once, free forever system is the ultimate nightmare for the corporations controlling the global food chain. Here is the mind-blowing truth. Changing your fate usually isn't about working harder. It is about stopping the hustle. An old bathtub, a little shade, and a tray of still water. That is it. You don't need a predatory greenhouse loan or a mountain of chemicals. In these waste containers, life is multiplying faster than you can imagine. This is real leverage. The less you do, the more you get. This own it once free forever system is the ultimate nightmare. It clones itself in any corner you've written off as useless. It makes expensive modern gardening look like a total IQ tax. Capitalism tells you production requires sweat and steel. Duckweed tells you it starts when you stop interfering. This isn't a gardening hack. It is survival sovereignty. When you stop trying to fix nature's clock, the miracle happens. So, when someone asks what self-sufficiency looks like, show them that trashy old bucket. Real power doesn't look heroic. It looks ordinary, cheap, and almost lazy. Until the day the supply chain hitches and grocery stores become a luxury, while your mocked little system in the corner is still cranking out harvests. This isn't a hobby anymore. It is a line of defense. When things are stable, dependency feels like convenience. When things are stable, dependency feels like convenience. When the crisis hits, dependency is a death sentence. While the people who laughed at your pond are standing under fluorescent lights, staring at empty shelves, you will be outside in the sun, harvesting life from a system you control. That is the real contract. Not perfection, but enough control over your own fuel that panic loses its grip on you. You're not playing farmer. You're reclaiming the decision-making power from a machine that fed you a lie and called it normal. The deepest poverty isn't a zero balance in your bank account. It is having no fallback at your back door. Real wealth is floating right there, in that scummy water you were about to pour out. So, now that the truth is out, are you going to keep throwing money at a game you're rigged to lose and start your own survival experiment? Let me know in the comments. If you only had 10 square feet left, would you give it to the soil or to a tray of crazy green water?